is and them all connected together and it purposes. This I did with Five Nights at Freddy's characters. He took absolutely awesome, very unique idea, and I took that and I have applied it to Nights at Freddy's characters at Freddy's apartment houses. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can check it out. Check out the card system, check out the description below. I'll be leaving links to loads of videos and playlists in both of those two places. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you want me to expand it. Do throw a like on this video. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know that you want to see something else like this, and I'm trying different things and I hope you guys appreciate it. Also, follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. That's all of the blogging done, guys. That was a lot, wasn't it? Let's talk. And the first YouTuber that we're going to be making is Stampy. So we're going to use our white stained clay to make him. We'll use yellow stained clay. We'll use some brown stained clay. We'll also use some light grey stained clay. We'll also need some white wool, some dark green wool. Oh, plus we'll also need a black stained clay. Well, once you have each one of those materials and once you've figured out what you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick this off by doing a row of, let's say, 3 white stained clay coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3. Then we want to place a yellow stained clay. We want to go right of that yellow stained clay by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is going to be the second row of the head. The first row of Stampy's head is going to start in front of this second yellow stained clay block here on the left. And we're going to, in front of it, place a white stained clay. Then go right of it by 1. Do 2 light grey stained clay. Then 2 white stained clay. Now we're going to build up on top of this. So on top of this row of white stained clay, we want to stack another white stained clay. Another row of white stained clay. Then going from left to right on this next row, and we want to do this for 2 rows, by the way. We want to do 1 white wool, 1 dark green, 2 white stained clay, 1 dark green, 1 white. And once you've done that for the first row, you want to do the same thing for the row just after it. Then for the next row on top of this, we want to go from left to right, do 2 light stained clay, then 2 white stained clay, then 2 black stained clay. Then do 2 rows of brown.
I can't do doing my bedding.
Clay. That'll be 1 row, and then that will be 2 rows, just like that. And that's perfect. What you now want to do is this. Since we're on the starting from in front of this top left-hand eyebrow, so on top of this left eye, you want to do 2 brown stained clay in front of this left eyebrow. Then on top of this right brown stained clay that you placed, you want to go up by 1. You then want to go right by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then you want to place a block on top of those last 3 blocks in place, that's 1, 2, 3. So that's all with brown stained clay, and that is just Stampy's hair that we've just placed there. What we can then do is take out the yellow stained clay, and where we place this very first yellow stained clay, we can extend this all the way up, and it wants to come 1 block above Stampy's head. Then we want to drag it all the way up to the right, and it wants to stick out of the right by 1, and then we want to connect it all the way down to that opposite side of the yellow, like this. And destroy these first 3 white stained clay blocks that we placed. We can then come all the way to the back of Stampy's head. So what we now want to do is we want to take the back 4 corners of our yellow stained clay square, and we want to extend them backwards, each by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And this could be
Shut up! No, shut up. Oh, shut up.
I thought we got up
Then we have to connect each one of these blocks together, and then we can pretty much fill the entire head in with yellow stained clay. And we'll just have to like make doorways to the entrances and stuff a little later on. Oh, you know what? You don't actually want to fill the top part of the head in with yellow stained clay. let me explain what you want to do with the top of the head. You only want to fill in the left, right, back, and the bottom parts of the head. I'll show you what you want to do with the top, and it's actually pretty cool. And you know what? We may as well do it whilst we're actually here. There's no reason for us not to do this. We may as well just do this whilst we're here. So, right at the top of the head, and Stampy's head's a little bit different. Just because it's a bit of a different shape, because it's wearing like this animal look. We want to do a layer of yellow stain clay that goes all the way around the inside of the top of the head, but it goes around in like a U shape, like this. And then we want to take out the yellow stained glass block here, and then we want to fill the top of the head in, and you want to have like a 4x4 row of yellow stained glass, like right at the top of the head, like this in the middle. Now, it doesn't work like this for every YouTuber. I know it looks weird on Stampy, but that's because naturally you should have like an extra row of yellow here. This all makes sense when we move on to the next bit, but we also have to fill in the bottom part of Stampy's head, and we're going to use yellow stained clay for this. So, Stampy's head's actually a bit of a different case. It's a little bit different to the others, but all of the others are a little bit easier, honestly. All of the other heads are a little bit easier. This is one of the harder ones, and you just want that glass room in the head. Guys, this is me from the future. We forgot about something. We forgot about Stampy's ears. We're going to take out yellow stained clay. We're going to go all the way up to the top of Stampy's head, and starting from in front of this top right hand or top left hand corner of the head, we're going to move in one diagonally onto the second row. We'll place a yellow stained clay. We'll go right of it by one. Then we'll leave a gap of 2. We'll place yellow stained clay, go right of it by 1, and there we have Stampy's ears. I completely forgot about those at the time, and it wasn't until right at the end of the video that I remembered. Now I'm going to cut back into where I was, and I'm going to go to current time. Now, once you've got Stampy's head taken care of, we can now move on to the next one. So the next one is going to be Stacy Plays. So Stacy Plays' head is going to be 3 rows to the right of Stampy's head. So if you can imagine, because Stampy's face should come out as far as here, it wants to, in the same line as Stampy's face, we want to leave a gap of 3 between Stampy's head and Stacy Plays' head. So Stacy Plays' head is going to start right here, and it's 3 spaces away, and her face is where Stampy's face is, if this makes sense. And to make her, we're going to need some white stained clay, we'll need some magenta stained clay, we'll need some black stained clay, we'll also need some white wool, we'll need dark green wool, and I don't think that we need anything else, but I've been wrong before. We want to take this single white stained clay, and we want to go to the right of it by 2. 1, 2 with the white stained clay. Then do 2 magenta, followed by 3 white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do a layer of white stained clay on top of this layer of white stained clay that you've just placed. Then for the next row, going from left to right, and as a matter of fact, you can do this for just the 1 row. I was going to say to do 1 white stained clay, followed by 1 white wool, then 1 dark green, then do 2 white stained clay, 1 dark green, 1 white wool, then do 1 white stained clay. Then for the next row, we want to do, go from left to right, 1 dark, 1 black stained clay. We then want to do 1 white wool, 1 dark green, then 2 white stained clay, 1 dark green, 1 white wool, 1 black stained clay. Then for the next row, do 2 black stained clay, then do 4 white stained clay, 2 black stained clay. You can then make the rest of the rows, and there's 3 of them, black stained clay space 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Now we just want to fill these in with our black stained clay like this. So we want to have something which should look like that. That's not looking too feminine at the moment, but don't worry, we're going to be taking care of this. So what we want to do now is we want to start from in front of the bottom front left-hand corner white stained clay block. We want to place a black stained clay in front of it. And then go up on top of this by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do 2 upright diagonals, 1 and 2. We then want to go right by 3, 1, 2, 3. We then want to go down by 1, do a bottom left diagonal, left by 1, do 2 bottom left diagonals, and then we want to go down to give us this shape. We can then fill the inside of this shape in with our black stained clay, and then we want to take these bottom 2 black stained clay blocks, and we want to extend them down to the ground with the black stained clay. So we want to have something which should look like that, and that is perfect. What we can then do is come to the back of the head, take each one of the 4 corners of the back of the head and extend them back each by 7 this time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And by the way, this is with the black stain clay. I'm not going to count out all of the rows. I'm going to count out that first one. I'm pretty sure that that's 7. Then I'm going to extend it all the way over to the left. I'm going to connect it to the front of the head, and then going to connect it up and then across and then up, and I'm just going to connect everything together basically. You only have to count it out once as long as you're sure that that row is 7, and we know that that row is right, by the way, because we could just use Stampy's head to make sure that that row 7 is correct, and we just want to fill in the bottom layer of the head. We want to fill in the very bottom of the head, left, right, back, and leave the top open, because at the top, you guys know what we're going to do at the top. We're going to have a little skylight at the top. That's what those things are called, I think. I think they're called skylights when you just have like a random window like in the ceiling. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Either way, that's what we have, and it's going to look pretty cool. It's going to let all of the light in. So save us doing a load of torches and all of that stuff. I think it's just better that we have a load of light, and it'll allow us to see any future heads that we may or may not add to this build. So we want to, right at the top of the head, we want to add an additional layer of black stained clay going all the way around the top of the inside here, like this. Perfect. Then we want to take out the brown glass, and then we just want to completely fill in the top of the head here. So we just want to completely fill in the top of the head with the brown glass. So we just want to have something which should look like this. And can you see that that grid of glass is in the same position as it is on Stampy's head? So that's how this might start making a little bit sense. A bit more sense. It's right in the center of the head. It doesn't look like it is on Stampy's, but it definitely is, trust me. Well, once you've got Stacy's head taken care of, we now want to take out the white stained clay again, and start from the front bottom right hand corner of this head. We want to, leaving a gap of 3, we want to go right, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place a white stained clay. And then we want to destroy that clay, and then we want to get ready for the next head. So the next head that we're making is going to be the diamond minecart. And for this, we're going to need some white stained clay. We'll need some light grey stained clay. We'll also
Shush!
need some diamond. Where are you? We need some diamond. Of course we do. Then we need some cyan wool. We need some white wool. We need a black wool. We also need some glass. We're going to be using some cyan stained glass, and this is what we're going to need for the diamond minecart's head. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the single white stained clay, and we're going to go right of it by 2 with the white stained clay. That's 1, 2. Then we're going to do a row of 2 light grey stained clay. Then another row of 3 white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3. We're then going to go up on top of this row with a layer of white stained clay like that. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to do a white stained clay, a white wool, a black wool, then 2 white stained clay, then a black wool, a white wool, and then a white stained clay. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to do 1 white clay, then 2 white wool, then 2 white stained clay, then 2 white wool, then 1 white stained clay. We then, for the next 4 rows, want to do rows of 4 cyan wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just want to fill these in with cyan. And I know that this is going to look a little bit boring, but trust me, we're going to make this look a little bit better. So this is what we have so far. It doesn't look very much like coming out in front. We want to have 2 black wool, and those kind of look like eyebrows, but they're not. What they are is goggles. So we want to take this left-hand eyebrow and start from this left block. We want to do an up left diagonal, up by 1, up right diagonal, right by 1, bottom right diagonal, right by 1, up right diagonal, right by 1, bottom right diagonal down by 1. Then we want to take these two center black walls and we want to extend them down each by 1. We then want to place a block of diamond in the upper left-hand corner of the left goggle and in the upper right-hand corner of the right goggle. Fill the rest of the goggle in with cyan stained glass, and we almost have done. We then want to take out the cyan wall, and starting from in the space in between the bottom left-hand corner of the left-hand goggle, we want to place a cyan wall, then one underneath it. We then want to place underneath the middle part of the goggle, underneath the left block, we want to place a cyan wall. We want to, on the right-hand side, starting from the bottom right-hand corner of the right goggle, place a cyan wall, go down by 1. We then want to place two cyan wool on top of the middle parts of the goggles. We want to place one coming out, and we'll have something which should look a little bit like this. And there we go. We have Dan's head. Now what we want to do is we want to come to the side of Dan's head, and we want to take out our white stained clay, and we want to take the bottom two corners of Dan's head, and we want to extend them coming backwards each by 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and we'll do the other side in a second. We then want to, on top of these first two white stained clay blocks, place a white stained clay, and then on top of this first block, we want to go up by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3, like that. Not only do you want to do this on this side, but we want to do the same on the opposite. So on the opposite, we'll come out by 1, 2, 3. Then on top of the second block, we'll go up by 1, and on top of this first block, 1, 2, 3, and we want to go up by 4, like that, to match the opposite side. We then want to take out the cyan wool, and we want to come back from each one of these back two corners, each by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's in line with the other heads, and then we want to do the same with the other corner. But what we can do, we don't have to count that out. Again, we just have to drag that over to the left. We just have to connect it all the way back to the front, and then once we've connected it to the front, we can then just drag it over to the opposite side again, connect everything together.
Who has my reading?
Eat with your mouth closed. With your mouth closed, Kiva.
You know how this works. Guys, you know how this works, so you connect it all the way up to the other side, and we'll just end up with something that'll look quite nice. But remember, you don't have to fill in the top of the head, do you? You just want to fill in the bottom, you want to fill in the left, right, and the top is going to be a nice little skyline looking thing. So that'll look all of the light in, and once we've actually done this, we do have a bit more detail to add to the end, by the way. We're going to make sure that Dan's goggles wrap all the way around his head. We're going to make sure that that happens, and it'll end up looking quite nice. So Dan's right in the centre. We're over halfway now, so we've done over half of the head, and the next two are actually quite easy, except you know what, Captain Sparkles is maybe a little bit trickier than some of the others. But what we're going to do at the top of the head, remember guys, we're going to add a layer of cyan wool going all the way around the top of the inside of the head here. We're going to add a layer of cyan wool, and then we'll fill in the top of the head with cyan stained glass. So just keep it with our skylight, just make sure it's in line with the other rows of skylights like that. And then what we want to do, we want to take out our black wool, and we want to, starting from the sides of the goggles, we want to take the bottom block, and we want to extend it going all the way around the head, except we don't want them to connect at the corners. So we don't want the black wool to connect it around the corners, but we want to have something which should look, is a way to do this, we want to have something which should look like that. So we have like the goggle strap going all the way around the head like this. Well, once you've got that taken care of, you've completed the third head. Let's move on to the fourth. So the fourth head here is going to be LD Shadow Lady. And once again, we're going to start from the bottom front right-hand corner of Dan's head. We're going to go right by 3, 1, 2, 3, leaving a gap of 3. Then we're going to place a white stained clay. I'm going to destroy all of those clays I've just placed. I'm going to get rid of everything, and I'm going to get out some new tools. I'll use some white stained clay. I'll use some magenta stained clay. I'll also use a little bit of purple stained clay, maybe. We'll have to see. But we'll need some brown stained clay. We'll also need some pink wool, as you might have guessed. We'll need some dark blue wool. We'll need some light blue wool. And we'll also need some pink stained glass. Oh, we'll also be needing white wool. How silly of me. So what we can do is, first of all, we can replace this white stained clay with a pink wool and destroy all of those blocks in front of it. Then, coming right at this pink wool, we want to have a row of 6 white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do another pink wool. Then for the next row, going from left to right, we want to have a pink wool, then a magenta stained clay, then 4 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then a magenta stained clay, followed by a pink wool. We then, for the next row, want to do then a dark blue, then do 2 white stained clay, one white wool, 1 pink wool. Then a light blue wool, then do a dark blue, 2 white stained clay, 1 dark blue, 1 light blue, 1 pink wool. Then for the next row, do 1 pink wool, 2 brown stained clay, 2 white stained clay, 2 brown stained clay, pink wool. Then for the next 3 rows, do 3 rows of pink. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and we can just fill these rows in with pink. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Replace it with white stained clay like this. Then take out the pink wool, and this is what you want to do. You want to, starting from the very front, bottom left-hand pink wool of the
Can you poo? Can you eat it? Yum yum, I eat all your raisins.
And we want to place a pink wool above it. We want to go up on top of this by 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an upright diagonal. You then want to go right by 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We then want to do a bottom right diagonal. We then want to go left by 1, do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. We then want to go left by 2, then do a bottom left diagonal. Then fill in the center of the shape that you've made. And what you also want to do is you want to take this bottom front right hand corner of the head, do a pink in front of it, then connect it all the way up to the top. So you want to have something which should look like this. Then connect each one of those bottom hanging pink wool blocks, connect them down to the ground to give you, here we go, we have LD Shadow Lady's hair, and that is perfect. Well, once you've got that taken care we now want to come to the back of LD Shadow Lady's head. We want to take each one of the back corners and extend them back each by 7 with the pink wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, okay. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's in line with the back of Dan's head. And then we can just extend this over, connect it to the other side, do all of that amazingness, and we can turn this into a big giant cube. We'll fill the top of this thing in with a pink glass, and then we will move on to the final head. And once the final head's done, guys, we do have some more things to do, believe it or not. We'll have to connect all of the heads together. We'll also have to do there's some pretty cool stuff that I have planned for, like underneath the heads. We have some little related pixel-arts for each one of the individual YouTube heads. So like underneath Dan's head we'll have like a little diamond, and underneath like Stampy we have a cake, and underneath LD Shadow Lady we have a cat, and Stacy we have a dog, and Captain Sparkles we have his glasses. We have something that kind of like represents each individual YouTuber just a little bit, just to put something underneath them, just to catch the eye a little bit. And it's I don't know, it just kind of like adds to this thing a little bit. It makes it look a little bit cooler. In my opinion, you don't have to add it if you don't want to, but we filled in the sides of this head. And right at the top of the head, we're going to add the layer of pink that goes all the way around the inside of the top here. And once this is taken care of, perfect, we then want to do the layer of pink stained glass that is inside the top of the head here. So we'll add a layer of pink stained glass, and there we have the smile line, which is perfect. We now have one view of the head. Then we're going to leave alone one material scope. We'll get rid of everything we have, and we'll grab ourselves some black wool. We'll grab red wool. We'll even need some dark grey stained glass. We'll need ourselves some white wool. We'll need cyan wool. We'll also need white stained clay and some black grey stained clay. And I do believe that that is it for Mr. Sparkles. Then, going right with this white stained clay that we have here, we want to have a row of 8 black wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to, on top of this row of 8 black wool, then we can destroy this white stained clay. We want to go from left to right, do 1 white stained clay. We then want to do a black wool. We then want to do a white stained clay, 2 white grey stained clay, 1 white stained clay, 1 black wool, followed by 1 white stained clay. For the next row, we want to do 1 white stained clay, 6 black wool, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to do a white stained clay. Then for the next row, do an entire row of white stained clay, like that. We then, for the next row, go from left to right, want to do 1 red wool, then 2 grey stained glass block, then 2 red wools, 2 glass block,
Stop being dirty or I'll tell Mummy B.
Then for the next row, do 1 white stained clay, then 1 cyan, 1 white, then do 1 white stained clay, 1 black,
I put that
then
in
do
my bin.
1 cyan wool, then 1 white wool, then do a black wool. Then for the next row, going from left to right, you want to do 1 white stained clay, then make the rest of the row black wool. Then for the next row, the final row, do an entire row of black wool to give you something which should look like this. And I know this looks a little weird for now. What we want to do, however, is we want to take this black wool here. Can you see this black wool? Just right of the right. I want to take this, we want to extend it out by 1. We want to go up by 2, 1 and 2. When you want to go left by 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, 1 block away from the end. Then we want to, starting from this black wool, in between the to, like, just above the in-between of his glasses, we want to extend this black wall up by 1. We want to go up by a further 1, left by 1, connected to the right to give us this shape. And this kind of looks like some sort of like weird land mammal, to be honest, that black block. Also, we want to take each one of the blocks of the glasses and extend them forward by 1 row. So you want to take the red and you want to take the grey stained glass and extend them forward each by 1 row like that. And that is what you want to do for the front of Captain Sparkle's head. We can now come to the side of the head. I'm going to start on this side of the head first of all, why not? We're going to take this bottom left hand corner black board here, we're going to extend it backwards by 1 the black. Then we're going to do 5 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to, on top of this row of white stained clay, and this is all you have to do on top of this first one. White stained clay. You want to take these back 2 white stained clays, extend them back each by 1 black board. Because it makes sense, either white stained clay or black, it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to take each one of these back 2 corners, we're going to raise them up until they equal height with the front of the head, and then we're going to connect them to the front of the head, and we'll also connect them together. Now for this next part, you know the skylight that we have just above each one of these YouTuber heads? Well, you can either use a black stained clay, or sorry, a black glass, or you can use a dark grey glass. I'm going to be sticking with the theme, I'm going to use a black glass, but dark grey glass, I mean, you know, can you really tell? Can you tell that much? I can, so I'm going to be using the black glass instead, but you guys can use whatever if you don't quite fancy getting out enough material. If you're a
lot of people.
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
What a freaking lion!
Second level of my YouTuber apartment house. If you want to make this level, you should probably already have the base of the house completed. It looks a little something like what we have on the screen. You guys love it so much that you wanted to see a second part. Well, if you do want to make that and then come back to this video and then make the second level, all you have to do is head into
To the base for the most part, and that's pretty much it. So let's get into it. So what you're gonna do is go to Springtrap in your bottom right. If you did this in a different order, doesn't matter what it is, the bottom right corner. And what you're gonna do is get to the left, so the right side of that, and you're gonna go to the right. You'll have 3 blocks, the spacing of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. On this third block, you're gonna place 1 brown stained clay, 1, and then you're gonna do 6 black wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then do 1 brown stained clay. And the next row, just leave it completely blank. It's going to be like a free bottom, just to get some height. So on that brown wool, we're gonna go all the way to the right, a total of the same way, just all 7 brown wool, just all the way to the other side. Next row is gonna be a full row of brown wool.
My favorite color is
Brooke, this is gonna be 1 brown wool, 1 white wool,
No, it's
1 orange wool, then 2 brown wool, then 1 orange wool, then 1 white wool, then 1 brown wool. Next row, 1 brown wool, 2 white wool, 2 brown wool, 2 white wool, then 1 brown wool. Next row, 1 brown wool, a spacing of 2, then 1 brown wool, a spacing of 3, then 1 brown wool. Then the final row is gonna be a full row of brown wool. Okay, now coming back down here, we're gonna start adding our details. Right now, it's kind of a little bit creepy. Well, creepier than these actually, to be honest. It looks really weird. So we're gonna pop it. So, anyway, let's start talking. So, on the brown, this left row here, what we're gonna do is add a row of the brown wool, or brown stained clay. Just like that. Bring it out like that. Okay, you should be in one on both sides. And then what you're gonna do is top this, and then leave this
Mommy,
next
smack
row.
you bum.
And building along this part right here, I want you guys to do 6 planks in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then next row, right on top of those planks, maybe
Ow!
number 2 those planks. 1, 2. Entire thing would be brown. Sorry, I keep saying brown wool. Brown stained clay, just like this.
Stay there.
He's probably the most difficult of these 4 we're going to be doing today. So what we're going to do now is what we're going to just basically do is go from right here. You're going to go up a total of 3 blocks with the light blue stained clay. So 1, 2, 3, and then remove these bottom 2. Just like that, just to get our height. Okay, and then from here I want you guys to do 6 black wool, or I'm sorry, not 6 black wool, what am I talking about? 7 light blue stained clay all the way to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Next row is going to be our imaginary row yet again. It's going to be up, and then you're going to do 1 of the blue stained clay, and then remove that one. And then go to the right, and total of 7 blue stained clay. Just basically take it to the right. The next row, same thing. And then 1 blue stained clay.